guys, Rorschach here. I've got another breaking news story for you today, involving everyone's favourite internet philosopher, Stefan Molyneux. I was watching Jean-Francois Guérepi doing a fantastic review of the new woke Terminator movie last night, and he mentioned, did Jean-Francois, at the beginning of the video, that Mr. Molyneux has been booted from PayPal. Is it true or not? Seems like a strange thing for them to do, to kick off a philosopher from basically being able to feed his family. Molyneux does not monetize his videos on YouTube. He relies on donations, and his payment service provider will be PayPal. So if that's been cut off, then I guess Mr. Molyneux will be looking for a new payment service provider right now, won't he? PayPal, by the way, doesn't appear to be a big proponent of freedom of speech anymore, does it? It's almost in the same territory as Patreon, really. The activists target it, and they crumble like a chocolate fire guard, don't they? They don't appear to put up any kind of resistance. What is Donald Trump doing about this? Well, he isn't doing anything, is he? Alex Jones is still banned all over the internet, isn't he? And Alex Jones was largely responsible for Donald Trump getting elected. I'm not saying that Alex Jones, led to the winning campaign of 2016 for Donald Trump, but he did play a large part in it. And Donald Trump hasn't even mentioned Alex Jones, despite appearing on his YouTube channel before the election. So Donald Trump isn't going up against big tech. Didn't he say something about it a few months ago? He hasn't done anything at all, has he, Donald Trump? So it looks like the American government is not going to be supporting freedom of speech. Well, I see no evidence of it. And big tech, very, very lefty, and working with activist groups to ban anybody who disagrees with far left mainstream, because the mainstream is very far left at the moment, consensus. So what's going on with Stefan Molyneux? Let's have a look. So I've done a little bit of research, and I found this article from Newsweek. This is the latest on what's happening, I think. I'll leave a link to the article down below, but I'll just read it out for you right now. So the headline: PayPal to cut off donations to right-wing YouTuber Stefan Molyneux following social media divestment campaign. So the headline says it's going to cut it off, but then if you read the article, it says that they actually have cut him off. It's the mainstream today, not as good as they used to be. Obviously, PayPal is working to end their services for far-right YouTuber Stefan Molyneux. So it's looking to end their services. Sorry, working to end their services. The internet personality behind such viral videos as the story of your enslavement, Take the Red Pill, and the Flat Earth conspiracy debate. The online payment platform confirmed the termination. So what is it? Are they working to end it, or have they terminated it? And he's not far right, by the way, Stefan Molyneux. Stefan Molyneux is a Randian objectivist philosopher. He's looking for the truth. If he was a far right person, he would be advocating for socialism, because far right, far left, kind of the same thing. Far left is global socialism. Far right is national socialism. You can describe Stefan Molyneux as many things. Well, just a philosopher, really, that would do. But you can't describe him as far right, because objectively speaking, Stefan Molyneux, in really despising socialism for, well, evidential reasons, look what socialism has led to, piles of corpses, is definitely not far right. But I guess if they just keep on labelling him as a far right, that makes him far right. I wonder if it would work if they used like the I don't know, some other term like unicorn. Unicorn YouTuber Stefan Molyneux. It's like every time they mentioned Stefan Molyneux, they mentioned that he was a unicorn. Would he then become a unicorn? I guess that's how it works for the fake news media today. Unicorn Stefan Molyneux. I'm not a unicorn, he says. Oh, you are a unicorn though, Stefan Molyneux, because Newsweek have said so. Back to the article. So the online payment platform confirmed the termination in a statement shared with Newsweek, writing that, this is a quote directly from PayPal, after conducting an extensive review, PayPal has made the decision to cave to the activists, to discontinue our business relationship with Stefan Molyneux. You're a payment service provider. That's all you are. But apparently not. I think we need a new version of PayPal, don't we? I think we need a PayPal with added freedom of speech, like we need a new YouTube with added freedom of speech. PayPal's decision to remove Molyneux from their service is an injurious rebuke to the far-right personality, to the unicorn personality, as much of his income has come from fan gifts, including recurring donations through PayPal. Finally, they stumbled on some truth. Okay, so the article continues. Many of Molyneux's videos feature him simply looking into the camera and sharing his views. What a terrible thing to look into the camera and share your views. I guess Newsweek, being the good lefty activists, masquerading as news journalists that they are, don't like people staring into the camera and sharing their views. They don't like that. Views that have grown more blatantly extreme and anti-Semitic. This is a quote. According to Right Wing Watch, there's a trusted and reliable source, Right Wing Watch. The self-described philosopher's musings. Self-described philosopher. Okay. Imagine somebody like Ronaldo being described as a self-described footballer. No, Ronaldo is a philosopher. Ronaldo is a footballer because that's what he does. He spends his time playing football. And Stefan Molyneux is a philosopher because that's what he does. He spends his time doing philosophy online. You are what you do. I am a YouTuber because I am doing this YouTube stuff. I'm also a bodybuilder because I lift weights in the gym. I'm also a night shift worker because I work the night shift. You are what you do. So, back to the article. Self-described philosopher. Self-described human being. Musings also caught the attention of Sleeping Giants, an activist organisation that aims to convince advertisers to pull promotions from news outlets that promote bigoted ideologies. Yeah, bigoted from their point of view. Sleeping Giants. What is Sleeping Giants? Sleeping Giants was formed just after Donald Trump won the election, and its stated goal is to target anyone who disagrees with their Democratic Party supporting far-left ideology. So Sleeping Giants are going to target you if you're not on the left. They're not fans of Donald Trump. So probably not an objective organisation here. Is Sleeping Giants. Probably as objective as Right Wing Watch and Newsweek. His show, Free Domain Radio, often features him discussing ideas. Oh, no, you can't discuss ideas. Discussing ideas that the alternative right has embraced. Yeah, some of the ideas that Stefan Molyneux discusses, the alt-right has embraced. Lots of the ideas that Stefan Molyneux discusses, the alt-right hasn't embraced as well. Molyneux has done everything he can to distance himself from the alt-right. He's tried to embrace conservative Inc. as Molyneux by trying to cozy up with people like Jordan Peterson and more mainstream people, but they unfortunately for Molyneux they suddenly turned their backs on him. And because Molyneux doesn't talk to people like Richard Spencer, doesn't talk to people like Nick Fuentes, doesn't talk to people like Jean-Francois Gariepi, he's kind of left himself all alone on a little island, and he's surrounded by enemies now. He hasn't got anyone coming to defend him apart from Mike Cernovich, really, on Twitter. I'm starting to feel a little bit sorry for Stefan Molyneux, but perhaps he needed to be a little bit braver and talk to some of the people who are classified as extreme, because now he is being classified as extreme and far right, even though he's done everything that he can to disavow. Doesn't work. It really doesn't work. The left is going to come after you anyway, and they're going to classify you as far right in activist news sources like Newsweek. Okay, so where was I? So he's discussed ideas that the alt-right has embraced, such as white genocide, conspiracy theories. It's nice to see them still use that pejorative, conspiracy theories. The men's rights movement and gun rights. Terrible things to discuss, men's rights and gun rights and oh god. The Canadian vloggers' videos often feature sensationalist titles. Yeah, so does anything, absolutely everything in the mainstream media today. You have to have sensationalist titles because you want the clicks. If you haven't got a sensationalist title, you're not really doing your job, because people will click on something else instead. So sensationalist titles such as "The Truth About Canada's Elections." How's that sensationalist? "Sugar Baby Feminism," and "Dangerous Snowflakes, Where Triggered Really Comes From." Those are the best examples you could find, Newsweek. Sleeping Giants co-founder Nandini Jami, a wonderful person, first made efforts to bring Molyneux's content to PayPal's attention in April. She told Right Wing Watch, Nandini Jami, do your own research on Sleeping Giants. You will not be surprised to see who's funding all of this. This lady spends all her day on Twitter trying to get people banned, trying to no platform people and trying to destroy people's lives. What a strange thing to do for a living, to hang out on Twitter all day trying to destroy people's lives just because they got a different opinion than yours and the person who pays your wages. Kind of creepy, in my opinion. So Jamie first made efforts to bring Molyneux's content to PayPal's attention. She told Right Wing Watch. She retweeted a post displaying screenshots of Molyneux's Twitter actively promoting anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. That's obviously Newsweek's point of view regarding the media. And anti-Semitism nowadays just means that you say anything about Israel, isn't it? That's pretty much where it's going at the moment. Yeah, just even bringing up certain ideas involving America's greatest ally is problematic, as Nick Fuentes is showing with his groupers at the moment. They don't want you to go there. Jamie encouraged her followers, who's following her, to contact PayPal directly and ask why Molyneux was still allowed to use their platform. Because they are a payment service provider. They're not a political organisation. Is it really that complicated? Jamie has encouraged multiple fintech companies to stop processing payments for far-right public figures, anyone she classifies as far-right. Again, Stefan Molyneux is not far-right because he really does not like socialism very much. So, far-right public figures and organisations this year. She penned an open letter to MasterCard and also publicly called on Stripe, Square and PayPal to be aware of the organisations that they enable financially. They don't have to listen to this lady, but they choose to. While PayPal has previously severed ties with extremist groups and individuals, including the KKK, the KKK should just change its name to the FBI, really. The Proud Boys, God, and Alex Jones. So if you're not on the left, if you question the left, they're going to classify you as far right, even if you're Alex Jones, who he doesn't even talk about America's greatest ally. He doesn't even go there, but he's far right as well. Jamie theorised that Molyneux managed to evade investigation by calling himself a philosopher rather than a white nationalist. Do you know why Stefan Molyneux does not call himself a white nationalist? It's because he's not a white nationalist. He's disavowed many, many, many times, but people like Jamie will know this. They're bad faith actors. They just want to get people who disagree with them banned, and they want to make sure they can't make a living. They can't keep a roof over their head and feed their families. That's what Jamie is going for. Suspending Stefan Molyneux should have been an open and shut case, Jamie told Right Wing Watch. Jamie also said now that PayPal has cut ties. What a horrible sentence, Newsweek, with Molyneux. He will probably face some difficulty finding a new service to accept donations. No one's going to want to touch him, she also noted. That's just how I envision her speaking. I think he's going to find himself bouncing around between payment processors. That's the vibe I'm getting from this lady. Please don't contact her on Twitter. She'll get some activists, coming around to your workplace trying to get you fired. That's the kind of person I think. That's certainly how she's coming across in this article. That's kind of what she does for a living. Molyneux did not respond to Newsweek's request for comment. As of Tuesday afternoon, Molyneux's YouTube videos and website still advertise PayPal donation links next to a marketing pitch. With your support, I am able to continue adding content to the platform. And then the article concludes. So it appears, from what this article is saying, though I certainly don't trust Newsweek, because they've got a quotation directly from PayPal, that Stefan Molyneux has been booted from PayPal. But again, he hasn't commented on it yet, has he? So it'd be interesting to see what he's got to say about this. Because it does appear that the fake news media is actually telling the truth for a change. So I'll leave a link to the article down below if you want to read it. You can do your own research involving Far Right Watch and what was the Jammies organisation called? Sleeping Giants. Nothing's going to surprise you about these organisations in terms of who's running them, who's funding them, what political motivations they have. It's all pretty predictable. Okay, that's it for me for the time being. I'm heading off to the comic book shop now to pick up my weekly dose of soy. But before I go, I've got one recommendation for you. If you want a non-woke comic book, pick up this one. This is The Last God. Who's it by? It's by Philip Kennedy Johnson. It's on DC's Black Label in print. It's about a government which has got some secrets. It's told the people that it's fighting for them, that it's gotten rid of all the problems that's plagued their country for many a year, but the problems are still there. So what's happening in the book is that the sins of the father are going to be revisited upon the son. And I guess you just can't live in a society based on a foundation of lies for a prolonged period of time. In the end, the foundation has been a little bit rocky because they're not based on truth. It starts to fall apart. That's the overall message you get in the story. Lies. They can work for a short period of time, but truth always rises in the end. You hear that, Right Wing Watch? You hear that, Sleeping Giants? No matter what you try to do to get rid of truth speakers and philosophers on the internet, I've got faith that truth is always going to win in the end. Okay, guys, thanks for checking out the vid. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you be so kind. Cheers, take care, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.